Yeah.
It is what it
Let's move
is.
on to the next thing. Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Can they? Do you think they can recover, man? I know you're a fan of Mahomes,
Yeah, that's
but
my
do
guy.
you
Of
do you
course
think they you think that's a little chink in their armor? They had this sense of invincibility,
I don't
going into
I
that
don't think so.
that game and the Super Bowl and people were putting them on this dynasty level, with their one championship. They were calling them a dynasty, and he was known as the second half comeback king, and things like that. Do you think that with this whole Super Bowl debacle, so to speak, you think they're gonna come back and be in the Super Bowl next year?
They got a good chance, you know. The first half, the game just got away from them because of the calls they were doing. I mean, they were calling back, in interceptions, fourth downs. They were calling the holes on the opposite side of the field with nothing to do with the play. It was a lot of calls that kept the defense on the field. So in the second half, it caught up with them. It just caught up with them, man. It was just one game, and the football is hard because you got to win that one game all the time. And this is Mahomes'
Hmm.
first time losing by more than 10 points. He was like 20 out of 21 in games in the last 2 years. I don't really think it's too much of a deal in football. It's not like basketball where it could get in your head. Football, they realize it's one game at a time. And sometimes you don't play your best game on that one time, just like in college football when they used to have that whole month off. And the best team rarely ever won because of all that time off. It was just like that. Plus, the Chiefs had, 4 day five offensive linemen was hurt, didn't play. So they had a lot of stuff, against them. But still, they, to me, got the best player in football in Mahomes. They got the best tight end, and they got, the fastest, biggest playmaking wideout. So their offense is going to be good still. They just ran up against a team playing better that day, and they were shorthanded.
You know what's funny to me is how quickly everyone turned on Mahomes and
Yeah.
all this. All he could never be the GOAT. He could never be the GOAT now. So you mean to tell me this man goes to 10 straight Super Bowls from now until 10, just if he next year on just goes and wins Super Bowls and he ends up with 8, 9, 10 Super Bowls, he's not gonna be the GOAT because he lost to quote unquote Tom Brady in
you
this
know, that's
2020. Like that makes absolutely no sense to me.
that's that's falling into this Jordan realm with Tom Brady now. Like LeBron would never be considered the greatest player ever because he didn't do things that Jordan couldn't do. So, they expect LeBron to score every point without passing the ball. Jordan didn't do that. They expect LeBron to make every shot. Jordan didn't do that. They expect LeBron to not have teammates to hit shots. Jordan teammates did that. So now with Mahomes, if he loses a Super Bowl, he can't be the greatest. Well, Tom Brady lost three of them. Tom Brady, it's like 6-1 versus Peyton Manning in the playoffs. He's 0-2 versus Eli Manning. Tom Brady did not play this invincible career. A lot of his Super Bowl MVPs, he barely even had 200 yards passing. No more. He had one touchdown. Like his defense carried this guy to at least 5 titles. Patrick Mahomes has to score all the points. He has to outscore the other team. His defense is not as good as the Patriots defense. Definitely wasn't good as the Bucs defense. Like they're just making this false narrative like they do with Jordan to make sure that their favorite can stay on top. That's basically what I see. Thanks for tuning into Not Another Sports Show on the Blue Chippers podcast. For more content, check out our other shows and subscribe to the Blue Chippers podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Not Another Sports Show 2021 on Instagram and Twitter.